Hello. Today what I'm going to be doing is field testing and sharing the Mora Garberg. This is the carbon steel version. It is 9 inches overall with a 4.3 inch blade. Scandi grind, it's easy to sharpen and also to maintain. Full tang as well. So this one here is designed for bushcraft and one of the robust or toughest Mora knives on the market. This also has a poly type material for the handle as well as the sheath, with a little bit of leather here for your belt loop, but it's meant to last a lifetime, and this comes with a lifetime warranty. I put some bank line on here to use as a lanyard. I was actually using this while I was ice fishing yesterday, and I was cleaning my fish with it. I put a little clip just to show how it works. Works great for cleaning fish and such. That's what it's designed for. But what I'm going to do now is I've cut down that dead tree. I'm going to cut it up and make a fire out here. I'm going to baton with this. It's a full tang. It's meant to baton. Now, you're only going to baton a certain size with this, and that's a good thing, because you're not going to be trying to baton something this big because you don't have the blade. Most times you only have to cut, up to a couple inches, baton it to get smalls and such to get to that drier wood. Very nice option, and what we're going to do now is just see how this works. There's many videos out there. This is also the carbon steel. Carbon steel a lot of times sharpens easier in the field. It's according on the hardness. And also, a lot of carbon steels, you can use flint on the back of them to start a fire. I'm not going to do this or do that with this. I'm sure there's a video out there that shows if these spark or not, but I'm not going to tear up my knife, because a nice 90-degree spine, which these come with, is more important to me. I can use it for scraping bark to get tinder. I can use it for scraping a ferro rod and so on. So I'm not going to tear up this back by striking it with flint, but that's up to you. Myself, that is only a knife that I don't really care about. I'll use flint with it, or in a last ditch kind of effort to get a fire going. That's up to yourself. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to saw some of that up, make a fire lay, and start batoning and see if we can get a fire going with this Garberg. Now I'm using this out here in the snow. It's going to get wet. I'm going to dry it off. When I get home, I'll put a little bit of oil on it. But that there is something that you really have to do with carbon steel knives, is maintain them. Otherwise, next time you take them out of your sheath, they're going to be covered in rust. So I got a few pieces cut there now, and this isn't very heavy at all. It's a very small baton. But now these pieces here are going to be a very good test for batoning with this. The reason why is I'll show you. They are twisted. That puts a lot of tension on your blade. It's still straight, but some blades have actually broke just from the tension. So we're going to split some of this up. Then we're going to just carve a couple feather sticks as well, just to see how it actually feathers. Now, feathering is also depending on your wood. You can have some wood that feathers very nice. Others that have, full of knots and such, it's not going to feather as well. But it's the ease in which it actually cuts through. And like every other Mora, this one here, that carves awesome. Now I've got to actually plant that to get my feathers. because up in the air like that I don't have the control. And of course this one here is right on a knot. I'll get another piece. You can see how jagged that is. I'm going to split some of this up. It's batoning very nice. Grab another one. And as you see, they have knots in them and such. But we'll split this one. I'm going to show you how that's the tension that's putting on that. Look how where the blade is compared to the way that's splitting. It's actually twisting. And this is full tang, so it can actually put up with this abuse. Look how that's twisting. This here is a very good test for this blade. And I also just cut through that, and look at this. I'm holding it straight here. Look how much that's twisted. Showing the strength that's in this blade, and it's still nice and straight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the 90-degree spine. I've actually got a striker on this and such, but I'm going to use the knife to strike my ferro rod, but also to harvest some of this fat wood. This is the extreme weather fire starter from 4 Directions Bushcraft. I'll actually put a link where you can check that out. This is an awesome tool. So what I'm going to do now is just scrape some of this fat wood onto my fire lay. The spine's working very well. It's nice and sharp. And as you know, fat wood is used by many people for fire lighting. So definitely great that I can actually scrape fat wood since it's a bushcraft knife. Now it is very windy out here, so I'm going to try to strike this up. Then I'm going to use those curls on top of that. There we go. Now I'll just set these right on top. Then put my brush. Now we just let it curl or grow up through. So that fire is going well. And as a bushcraft knife, this here is a great tool, accompanied with a saw or something bigger to drop trees and such. It's not a chopper, but to split your smalls. And what I always say, it's a great medium to light duty knife. Will do pretty much all you need out here. If you had something to actually fell trees and delimb quick and such, this here is a great companion with a saw or hatchet. And it would be a great survival knife in that case if you carried something for the heavier tasks. This here, I've been carrying the stainless steel version in my personal survival kit, but I'm replacing it with this one, the carbon steel version, just because I like the way carbon steel sharpens in the field. This one here, like I said, is going to be a great companion with my saw. I usually carry a larger knife. I always do. Today I didn't, just for this video, because I knew this here with the company of the saw, I would be fine out here if I was ever lost or stranded. So it can make a very nice survival knife as well if you have something that does the heavier task. I want to thank you for watching. Take care. All the best.